Okay. So we can put our pump in there, pump this water out. I don't know if you can see right there. And their existing dry well going into there. And then the third pipe.
Enjoy this pleasant day. Tonight, clearing cool, lows around 40. Another weather winner tomorrow. We'll go from sun to clouds for your Wednesday. Highs in the mid-60s for most. It'll be much cooler along the coast. Thursday, first day.
Good morning, everybody. We're starting a new project today, and we get to work alongside this beautiful tennis court. They're having a little bit of a water problem. They have a French drain that goes around the whole tennis court, and they had the dry well put in about 20-25 years ago, and that is over here in this area over here. There is you can see the indent of the ground. That worked for years and years, and it's starting to slowly not work anymore. So we're going to be putting in a very large dry well here, and we're going to connect the tennis court pipes into a big catch basin and also incorporate their old dry well. And I'll show you a little bit about that. So the tennis court has this French drain that goes all the way around, and it's an open French drain. They have this red stone walkway right here, and that goes around the whole tennis court. And they also have a lateral underneath the tennis court, and the pipe discharges here that goes into their old dry well, which is, like I said, over there. Once it slowed down, they had somebody come and dig this up. They exposed the pipe. She wasn't very confident in what he wanted to do, so she contacted us. We gave her a plan, and she's going with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to be putting a large catch basin right here with a discharge to a very large dry well over here, about 1,300 gallons. And then we're going to also leave her pipe in that has to their existing dry well, because it does work somewhat, and that will give them a little bit more capacity. And when she had this opened up, she had somebody come and run a camera through, and the whole tennis court was clear. There's no blockage, so it's not a problem with the French drain. It's a problem with the old dry well. Yeah, we did just get an 1.5 inches of rain yesterday, so we are now pumping out this hole that they dug to get down to their pipe. And because this has been open all winter, we are going to put our camera scope through it, just check the pipes again, make sure we don't have to dig it out anymore, and change any of their piping. Her dry well does handle light rains. It wasn't handling the really heavy rains that we've been getting. Yeah, this might take a long time to drain out. We only brought the small pump, forgetting that we're probably going to drain the whole French drain that's around the tennis court. We should have brought the bigger pump. It's going to take a little longer than we thought to pump it out. They got these beautiful views over here in this pathway, so we have to get some boards and lift some of these up because we don't want to damage any of these. So that's what Tom's about to do. That's a beautiful piece of property.
Is this one?
Yeah. This was the main one, right? This is scratchy.
That one, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I make two of these.
Yeah, and get this one up. So yesterday we came and we offloaded our equipment. It was raining yesterday, so we couldn't do much digging or anything. So we have to lift some of these up because the top of the machines were hitting them. Okay, this branch is in the way.
1
And it's dead. That's pretty good. We got lots of room to bring the Kubota and the Mini through here with no problems. They have such beautiful views that make a canopy over this walkway. Didn't want to break them. Okay, we're going to just do our laser, get some measurements. Okay, right by the light post gate
0.
is 0. Okay, measurement on top of the pipe.
Top of the pipe is -21.
Minus 21. Okay, we're gonna go over here. Okay, that's the property line. So Tom's just setting it up. We're back. It rained a little bit this morning. Quick look inside this hole. And even with the rain that we got, the water level has not moved. So that is definitely where the water table stopped, right at the top of that pipe. And the customer wants to use a lot of this dirt, which is fantastic because it's really nice soil. Look how nice and dark that is. So that's going to be good.
Dump along there.
And then I can rake it out a little bit. So put the good soil along the boards by the tennis court. Then I can rake it out a little because I don't like standing around doing nothing. Back a little. right there. So Tom has his teeth bucket on the bottom where he has to dig. And there's a laser receiver. Okay. Well, Tom's more than halfway done with the trench. We're getting this building pretty good. Okay, so now Tom's gonna pile a big pile in the middle. We're gonna need that when we cover up the top. Okay, we're done. We have the pit all dug. So this is where the chamber system's going. And then tomorrow we're going to be bringing stone, putting fabric in here. We got most of the dirt spread around over here. We don't fix it up nice until the end. All right. right, we will see you in the morning. Here is the pit for the chamber drywall system. We got an inch of rain last night. I'm gonna go down there and cut those roots right now. Tom just went to get a stone. He's gonna get back here, we'll get the stone in the bottom, put the fabric in, chambers, and we'll get to work. Sorry, I'll blend you out.
Go through it, you want to know exactly what you're doing, you didn't want pictures of this way,
Just to get an idea of what we're doing. That's good.
Oh yeah.
And then after this, it's just that we put that on top of it.
Yes.
Okay, here's a chamber system before we cover it up. And this is where the inlets are gonna go, and there's fabric under those. Fabric all around, stone underneath. Now we just have to put some stone in. So that's what a drywall chamber system looks like. So for today, we're getting all the stone in except for on the ends where we had to put pipe in. It's gonna be loud.
No, it's fine. Leave it.
What?
Just clean up and be done.
Yeah. All right, Tom has all his measurements. Now he has to dig down into this pit so we can empty this water, then fill it with stone, get our basin where we want it. If we put that in today, we'll see. But right now, he's digging this all out.
See how deep I am?
I don't know. It says you gotta go down. Alright, so right now Tom is digging this all out. We're making that side deeper so we can put our pump in there. We brought the bigger pump today.
There's that shale, I think.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Let me show you what's going on. He's digging this out. We're going way under where we have to go so we can put our pump in there, pump this water out. I don't know if you can see right there. That's the pipe that's coming in from under the tennis court, and the water's just flowing out of there. Once he stops, you'll be able to see it better. So we got our pump in, and they have an electrician working because they're getting a pole put in. So he's going to talk to them and see if they have the power back here turned off. So when we came back today, we had to leave the job for a couple days, and they're having a pool put in. Like this massive pile of soil. But we were trying so hard not to mess up anything. They totally destroyed the yard. So I guess we don't have to put boards down today. But in them digging their hole, they hit the electric line that goes to the back here. So we have no power back here to run our pump. So we have to run it through the garage. Tom's just getting enough extension cord so we can make it up to there. Looks like it's gonna be one of those days. Okay, pump's on. Get this pumped out of here. Can you see all that water that's coming in? That's from the French drain around the pool. So we're gonna have to be pumping that water out too. And it's also flowing out over there. I don't know if you can see yet, but I'll uncover that pipe. That's from the old dry well. Alright, so Tom's got his line drawn. This is where the pipe's gonna go on this white line. So he's starting to dig. Alright, so our basin's going right in between those two pipes. Tom is starting to dig out for the pipe that's going to the dry well and over and going right to the bottom of the chamber system, which is right down there.
All you gotta do is set that grade rack to the bottom of the pipe.
That's good.
17 inches. Count back from the, including the bell end.
Okay, 28. Wait, let me move. Almost. Right there. Let me get it better. And this one? Okay. All right, so all the piping is in, catch basin's in. Here's a look inside the catch basin. That is the tennis court, French drain, and their existing dry well going into there. And then the third pipe goes that way, that goes into our dry well. So as that water comes into that basin, it will go follow this pipe, and it will go this way. We're gonna get some dirt on here halfway, and then we'll run the compactor over it, and then it will go right into our chamber system here. So that's a look at the piping, and then it will fill up this. So we bedded the pipe down real nice. Now Tom's just taking soil and putting some on top of the pipe, and then we'll take the jumping jack and go over it a little bit and do it in lifts. So here's a look at the catch basin again, and you saw we pumped that water out yesterday. We were gone overnight and came back this morning, and that is the water table. So that's what a water table is, and that is actually what it says on their soil survey. So what was happening when their old dry wells stopped working is that the water couldn't go down the French drain any longer. And then it started coming up the top and just sitting on top of these rocks. It was never too deep. It never got above the tennis court, but they want to correct the issue before we get any big major storms. As it rains and the water comes off the tennis court, it will enter into this basin, and as this basin fills up, the water will go into that dry well and also go towards our new dry well and empty into that. We got the riser things all fitted. We'll just cut them down at the end. And Tom is going to use a jumping jack on this before we put more dirt in. tracking it in, and then he'll run the jumping jack back over it. It really helps with eliminating any kind of settling later on. All right, Tom's gonna start bringing this stone in to put in the dry well so we can finish that up. Good. Get some rock around here. All right, so we got some stone around. The green is all solid, so we don't need any stone around the green. I'm gonna put some fabric around there, and nice and level. Gotta keep checking that as you go up. So I'll put the fabric down, and maybe I can get Tom to get some dirt down in here. He's over there getting the stone into the chamber system. There we go. Good. Still level. Let me get Tom over here. The fabric's all put down, and this dry well is going to have caps on it because it's not for taking water in. This is for taking in the extra water from the tennis court. That's it on the rough grading. So we got it pretty good. The pool people are coming back tomorrow, so we have to wait for them to be done with their concrete work before we can come back because they need the driveway and all for the concrete truck. But when we come back, we'll bring some soil. We'll use a seeder and seed and to put straw down. That's a look at everything as of right now. And then I'll give you an update when we're done. All right, we won't be needing these boards anymore. Bring them home today. Want me to help you? Good.
The cap won't come off?
Yeah, it will. I'm sure. You know we're done when Tom's taking down the boards. So here's a look at where we put the dry well. We have on each end, we have solid lids because this is not collecting surface water. If it was collecting surface water, they would have open grates. And dry wells, chamber systems, are basically a recharge system. So we graded everything nice, added all the extra soil there because that was really indented, and get the water to flow. Put some soil along the boards here. We brought in some topsoil for the end to put on top, but their soil was pretty good. And that's where the catch basin is. So they can open that up if they need to, ever, and look inside that dry well, look inside that dry well. They can run a camera scope through it if they ever needed to, but I don't think they're gonna have any problem. So that's a look at everything.
It's coming over me. It's everywhere I see. It feels like ecstasy. Our chemistry surrounds me. When it gets
So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I want to thank you for watching. Bye bye.